Hey all, how's it going? All right, so this is probably going to be about an hour. Not as much as I was hoping for. I was going to shoot for about two, maybe an hour and a half. I don't know, but I think my time may be a little shorter than I planned because we're going to a movie later. It's Memorial Day, so I'm going to be doing some weekendy stuff. Now, to be fair to me, um, I don't to me. Okay, get myself in position here. Actually, I need water. Looks like my water's gone, and I've got to check my palette. What do we got here? Palette's not terrible. It looks like could be worse. Looks like I've got some paint overrun, but other than that, I think we're okay. Just a minute. Let's go get me some water to work with. So you might be asking, what is it you're gonna paint today? Well, that's a good question. There's a lot of things I want to paint today, but with 1 hour, there is going to be a little bit of a limit as to what I can actually accomplish. I probably do need to add a little paint to my palette, or not paint, water to my palette. Obviously, I'm going to have to add paint. All right. Water is now officially part of my palette. Might be too much. We're going to find out. I put a lot of water in there. It could be problematic, but we'll see. It's just a matter of being have something that I can work with. So I've been working on this guy. This is my golden eagle I've been trying to complete. Let's see, where's the focus point? Right about here, I guess. So there's my golden eagle. Um, he's coming together. I've been kind of working on his base and getting everything kind of set. I have to do some work to highlight his wings. I mean, right now they're just base coated, really, just the dark and the light colors, but nothing too spectacular. I'm going to try and do a little bit of that for the next bit. I don't know how long it'll take me. Maybe it'll take me 20 minutes. It could take me the rest of the hour. So we're going to find out. I'm going to go ahead and start my timer on this. You can see here I have listed Grim Black. Obviously, I've used other colors. It's because I had already had this guy much started long before I got this app, and I just recently got around to trying to work him and finish him. I do have a number of things that need to get done for upcoming gaming sessions, as I am a DM for my son, his wife, and a couple of friends. Um, in a campaign that's kind of coming to the climax. It's coming to the end. There's a couple of little events going on, but they're nearing the end of their adventures to some extent, right? So, um, yeah. Anyway, so let's go ahead and see what I can accomplish. Oops. And one of the things I do want to do is go check out my. I have a. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, so. I don't know why is this doing that. Why are these closing? I don't know. I'm touching them, but they're closing. I don't want them to close. So some might be asking. I have mentioned that this week I have to do a lot of studying if I'm going to do this. If I'm going to do this monologue that I mentioned I want to do, I have to do a lot of study for that this week, or it's not going to happen. So we will find out just how. So I noticed that a lot of these golden eagles have darker, if not almost black, brown underneath their golden heads, their golden tops, and a fair amount of orange in their top. The browns on their wings are going to be tricky to paint. So yeah, what have I got here? Golden eagle. Oh yeah, I was trying to work on golden eagle feet. Cause that's I was working on painting his feet up there. You can see I've got his feet kind of painted at the bottom there. And that's what color they are, so I went with that. And I need to make sure I keep sitting up, or I'm not going to be able to stand up later because my back's been wigging out. So. Such is a thing, I guess. All right, so let's go images. So these are some of the images of golden eagle feet. I probably could add like some, I don't know, maybe some sandy yellow, lighten them up a little bit. They're a little deep in the yellow side. Maybe give them a little bit of some dry brushing of white or something. But yeah. Now, I really wanted to try to look at their feathers, just because I want to see how the rest of their wings look, because I haven't really done too much with their overall golden eagle wings. Let's go to another. Well, this was me trying to read that. All right, let's go here. Seahawks. Huh? All right, golden eagle wings. There we go. I don't know how big their wingspan is, but don't care. All right, so all right, here you go. Let's go check out all these images. See what we got. What can we do to my golden eagle? It looks like they have some white in their wings, huh? They're gonna have a lot of these are underside. I kind of want to see the tops. Yeah, I got a lot of underside stuff. Some white bits. Hard to see the top of a golden eagle, I guess, because normally they're flying. So that's kind of what they look like, I guess. So it looks like they might have, I don't know, some orange around the edges of their wings. Maybe some bright, or maybe some yellow. Some pale yellow, blonde look, maybe. What would be the colors I'm going for there to highlight their wings? That would be interesting. And also the brown on their wings looks like it's a little more orange. I wonder if I should just kind of give the wings a little bit of a my wife's saying something. I don't know if she's talking to me. Okay, so definitely have the brown on the lower parts, but they have some white and stuff in there. That's gonna make that fun trying to get that in there. The tops parts is definitely going to be, I don't know, a little bit more orangish. I've kind of got a little too much brown in there. Wonder if I just do like a wash of like a light orange to kind of lighten them up on the brown here. Like I don't really have a burnt red or a burnt orange color, but I'm thinking if I can get, I don't know if yellow would work. Would yellow lighten up the should I do a small piece and just kind of see what yellow does to this brown? I'm not sure. Alexa, turn on dynamic duo. I just get a little bit more light in here. I'm going to go ahead and yeah, I'm not sure. This is going to be weird. Not terribly confident in this. Maybe if I did a brown mixed with a yellow and kind of see how that looks, and then wash it on. We'll just kind of wash a strong tone wash in with a yellow ink, which is an intense ink. And then we'll see if I don't know, yeah, it's probably better if I hold him directly. I don't have it glued on right now. Trying to decide just how much yellow I want. Guess we can start off a little light and go from there, huh? Alright, let's see what this does. No, well, it's not too bad so far. Just gonna lighten them up, kind of give it a... And now, I have no idea if it's gonna dry anything like this, but I like the way it looks right now. And do they have shiny feathers? Not so much. I mean, they have, you know, when the sun's shining off of them, it's a little shiny, I suppose, but they're not like glossy. So yeah, this is just a brown with a brown and yellow, actually. Just a yellow highlighted, a yellow mixed with brown. And it's actually just a brown wash, strong tone war paint, or not war paint, but what is it? Army paint. And then it's a intense yellow from Vallejo, intense ink, intense color ink, whatever they got. Now this is kind of what I'm going with on the top of my eagle. And again, I don't know what this is going to look like when it dries, because things are, they can dry, it can go on pretty cool when they're wet, but then they dry, and then you're like, not exactly what I was hoping for. So you're kind of like, the glossy yellow look kind of looks good, but then you're like, oh, that's just dried brown. It does happen sometimes. So we're going to see how well this intense yellow brown wash mix actually works. Now I still have to figure out something a little bit more precise. Like, I got to figure out how to do those, how to highlight these wings. And rest assured, there is definitely some highlighting that these wings have. Seems like when it's almost like the edges of the wings kind of get a yellow, almost orange hue, I guess, as they become more, as the sun hits them. They get a direct edge on the sun. And then of course right now I'm just trying to get enough. I want the yellow in there because the golden eagle has a more You know, they're not totally brown. It's kind of a brown and yellow. I mean, it just kind of gives it a gold look, right? I mean, that's why they call them golden eagles. They look kind of goldish, which is what is gold, but like a brownish. It's a shiny brown yellow. That's what gold is. It's like it's not totally yellow. Some versions of gold can be pretty bright though, and look pretty just straight up yellow. But even so, if you really compared it to yellow, you'd note that it's really not. It's not yellow. That's what yellow aspires to be. If only I could be shiny like gold. I'd be worth something. Oh, don't sell yourself short. You're worth a lot to me. Okay. So yeah, my initial blend is kind of gone, so I have to keep kind of blending up new brown yellow thing going here, because I'm noticing some of my brown is landing a bit too brown. I have to go back and hit it with some yellow. And ultimately, too, I got to make sure it hits. You know, get those little white spots that you may have noticed when I first showed this to you. Some of it's thing is, one thing about miniature painting, which I am not good at, it's about the coats, multiple coats. You have to put multiple coats on if you don't want handling to be a problem, right? Because you put a single coat like a base, and then you go with it, and eventually that paste just starts rubbing off. Unless you just don't ever use the mini for anything, like you just constantly leave it on the shelf, which is possible, but just one coat almost never just looks right. Sometimes it just fades off, chips off, doesn't get a full set. Just, yeah, don't do it. I think an extra coat is best if you really want your mini to pop. At least I think so. And again, you know, I don't mistake me for a teacher. I just go by experience, and my experience is that you need an extra coat, at least a couple. Some people put 14, 15, 20 coats, especially when they're competing. But I've never. Now, not to say I've never. I can't say I've never put in a mini into a contest, but I'm not truly like, you know. I don't expect to win any golden demons or anything in my future, in the near future. I would have to end up making this like more than just an occasional hobby to ever hope for something like that. But here, so now there you go. My little bit better, my little bit more finished wings got a little bit better brown on them. They're a little shinier. I don't know how well that's coming through as shiny or not, but that's probably what it looks like when it's dry. And now I got to start working on getting a little bit more color on the edges. And that one's probably going to be more of an outright color, like an actual, because hitting the edges of the feathers is going to be, it can't be a wash, because it's going to be needing to be a little bit more solid than that. So I'm going to have to find. There we go. And it has to be thin enough that it actually. Oh, I got moon yellow. In this case, you know, yellow is known for its not taking a very good you know, it doesn't stick very well. I mean, you have to put a few different layers on. And in this case, that might be good, because I really don't want it to be yellow. I just want it to have a... I think some of these are like these... The way these wings are, they're obviously not as big and feather. I mean, the feathers aren't as big and detailed, but I'm wondering if I want to use yellow. I might use like a tan. Let's try this Palomino Gold. Yeah, that might work. It's kind of a browner yellow. But I do need to mix it up. So that would mean between the Palomino Gold and the Vallejo and the Wash, just today alone, I'm using 3 different brands of paint. Palomino Gold is the Reaper. The Express Color Yellow is Vallejo. And then the Intense Wash, or whatever the heck that is, Dark Wash, Strong Tone Wash is a Quick Shade from Army Painter. So all I need now is to pull out some Citadel, and I can go full on variety here. Let's see how this looks. I have no idea what to expect from this one, but this isn't a super thick paint, but it might be what I want. I do want to start another model, start doing some extra models, but sometimes you got to finish the one you do, because you might not come back to it. That's been my experience. For me, I don't always come back to these things when I should. Now, some of the guys I watch online, Miniac and Ninjon, those guys, well, Ninjon especially would tell you, go intense, man. If you're not sure, go darker. If you want something to really stand out, if you really want your efforts to make a difference, just go bright. And I have a real hard time with that. You'll note that this, although it's doing stuff, is not terribly bright. So I'm supposed to be hitting the edges of these things, and as I do, I'm realizing it's not really all that, not that obvious. Even though I'm only doing on the edge, it's just too, it's not enough contrast in it. So I should almost be doing like a white or a bright yellow with a very strong pigment, because I'm not seeing it. Whatever I'm doing, whatever the heck I'm doing, that is not showing very bright. I need something that's gonna hit with some oomph. I need an oomph hit. So what can I find that's going to be a little bit more aggressive in color? I can go with a straight up orange with a like a model color orange. Now these are, now this is actually fluorescent orange. I gotta get a drink. It's getting hot down here. We'll start with protein shake. It's probably not the drink you were thinking, huh? If you know me, you're probably thinking he's gonna pull out an ice or a Kickstarter or some other energy drink. Well, it's probably right most of the time. But today, I'm pulling out a gold standard. And as long as it's cold, it tastes good. Have you ever noticed these things always say shake well, but they're so full you can't even shake them. So you have to drink like a. Your first swig has to be. This orange, I think, is going to need some serious liquid assistance to become thin enough for me. To a point. So, if you know me, if you've also been following me for any number of my other things I do on my stream, you're like, you need to separate your streams. And I get it. Nobody's ever told me that, but I've read online I should. But here's the deal. I've also read you should not. I, what it comes down to is basically how many people do you actually have on your stream? And for me, it's pretty small. I've only got like 120. I kind of set a goal. If I get 100 and if I get 200 followers, I'll split my stream. Probably though, I won't split my painting. I'll probably just split the programming stuff I've been doing. Problem is, I'm not totally sure that when I get a job, my programming stuff is going to be as consistent, because that's kind of my day thing. And if I get a job, I'll be doing that at work, and they probably won't want me streaming what I'm doing at work. So, yeah, that means it'll probably be a lot less of that. So would I really need to split my stream then? I don't know. Kind of comes down to at that point, is it what's the and then separating video gaming from my painting, maybe I get the logic, but this is game related. These are all for D&D, right? I do not want extra water in my paint. It's not easy. It's not easy being green, but it's not easy painting the edges of these feathers either. My paint might be too thin. Dang it. Another drop of... I may have over-thinned it. Because I need to be able to draw a line. If it's too thin, I cannot. So, some friends of mine took on a board game this week that I really kind of wanted to play, but I was busy somewhere else playing D&D, which is good. I mean, I enjoyed the game I played too, but I played Twilight Imperium once, but all of a sudden everybody wanted to play it. I was like, oh, really? The day I'm not going to be there? It's one of those really long games that just takes a really long time, but it's fun. It's sometimes you just gotta play those long ones, or you don't. I guess you don't gotta, but I feel like if you're a gamer, you gotta try. Yeah, I mean, some people call themselves gamers, board gamers, not video gamers. And only ever play short games, which I guess, if you like playing games, you can be a short gamer. It's possible, but I like me some meaty games. Hey, Jax Pax, how you doing? Oh no, you're trying to sell me stuff. I'm gonna have to block you. Oh well. Fine. I always think it's funny that they always say the best viewers. I'm like, so what are you rating them? Are you rating the best viewers? You're like going, please take this quiz, and we want to determine if you're one of the best viewers. And I'm like, well, what makes a best viewer? I know these are all bots that are dumping crap on my stream, so I can't. They're not even hearing me talk, but whatever. I will block Jack's Packs in just a minute. Jack's Packs will no longer be a problem in my eyes, because he will be removed from my stream's existence, along with everybody else who does that. I don't like getting the first thing somebody drops on my stream is an advertisement to try to sell me something. It's funny. Sometimes I get people coming on and they do start off at least trying to act social, but then you tell them I can't afford to buy anything, and they're like, "Oh, well, your stream sucks. Bye." And I'm like, okay. People pretend, oh, you have a great stream. I wanna help you be successful. And then you go, hey, cool, man, you gonna do it for free? Cause I can't afford to pay anything. Your stream sucks. I'm leaving. It's like, oh, okay. Don't give me money. I don't like you no more. It's like, isn't that a problem with some entourage? I don't know. It's my I'm not totally sure that this is, it's one of those things that as you're doing it, you're like going, I don't know if it's doing anything. And then you hopefully when it's done, you'll be like, oh, that did do something. Actually, that's kind of cool. But that's what you're hoping for. Because sometimes you can't tell while you're putting it on. Because it's the overall effect, right? Tiny little things in mass look pretty good, but tiny little things just all by themselves in a vacuum, you can't even see them. So it's kind of an unknown right up until you actually. Yeah. So I know I haven't. It's already Monday. Sunday is my monologue or my audition. Did I say Sunday? I meant Friday. I don't know that I'm doing it yet. I mean, I signed up obviously my 8:45 on Friday, but if I don't, obviously I could not show up or cancel. They're only 5 minutes, so you got 5 minutes to do your monologue. And my current mindset, I'm like, I don't know if I can do it. I'm chickening out. That's what I'm doing. To be honest, it just comes right down to one thing. I'm chickening out. I'm going to still spend some time trying to learn it this week and just see if I can memorize it. But, memorizing something is only half the battle, right? Once you get up on stage, you got to remember what you did. And it's not even a thing you have to memorize, right? They're like, but I got to figure out how to monologue it in a way that looks like I'm acting it. It's not just a matter of, and I haven't been practicing. I need to be practicing it in front of you guys, even if you're not watching, just so that I can, get in the habit of doing it out loud. I don't know. I wonder if I should hit this with some white or something at the end, because I don't know. I feel like it's still not popping enough for me. I want these edges to pop more. And then if it's too dry, the paint don't leave your brush. Paint don't leave your brush. I don't know if it's creating the highlights I want, but it is making the wings pop more, which I do like. Making the feathers stand out slightly better. Alright, so I think I got this wing kind of good. At least it's fully highlighted. Maybe. It does look like, I do like that orange appeal. It looks better than the other wing. But I still think I may have to put a little bit more on, like a white or something brighter, like a really light yellow or something right on the edge to give it that full edge look. But we'll go with the orange first. It's probably a good coat. What do we got? 3 o'clock. All right, let's get another swig of my drink because it is getting really warm down here. All right, let's do this first. All right. How goes my back? That's the question. I'll know when I get up. All right. It's toasty down here. To become the shirtless painter. Yeah, that's not gonna fly. That's not gonna fly. YouTube, Twix, YouTube and Twitch will be like, no, buddy, that's not allowed. I mean, it's probably fine if you're working out, because I mean I know it is because I do a workout stream too. But if you're just sitting at a desk, probably not so much. Kind of tricky to do this, I'm telling you. Well, at least in the camera. I'm in the camera, but you're probably looking at it going, "What's he doing? Nothing's happening." It is happening. Trust me, it's happening. But it's probably not happening very obviously. My goal here, it's gonna have to pop more eventually. I'm gonna go see, my wife and I are gonna go see Reagan, the movie Reagan with, I think it's Dennis Quaid playing Reagan. Yes, that Reagan, Ronald Reagan. Now, of course, you know, probably no Democrat's going to go see it. Even though he was actually a pretty popular president across the board. I mean, he was just not only popular, but a lot of people thought he was one of the best presidents we've had. Now, I was a teenager when he was president, you know, and I probably didn't really acknowledge much of that. So it's kind of like, for me, hindsight. I wasn't one of those politically charged teenagers. I was one of those teenagers that, yeah, oh yeah, we have elections going on. And the thing is, I was, in fact, when he was early, his first 4 years, I was only like, I think he was elected when I was 10. So, yeah, he's not, I mean, I didn't know what he did. He did get Gorbachev to tear down that wall, Mr. Gorbachev. He did do that. That's pretty good. But again, I barely remember that happening. And that was towards the end of his thing, right? Because that was like in the late 80s, the last term. They were, he was quite the guy, man. He was just one of those people who could be serious and entertaining. You know, like an actor. He knew how to appeal to the crowd. And that made him popular. I think like George W. George W. was popular for his personality. A lot of people thought George W. wasn't the brightest bulb in the shed, or whatever you call it, the sharpest tool in the shed, brightest bulb in the. I don't know where the bulbs are. Brightest bulb in the ceiling? I don't know. Where do the bulbs go when people say the brightest bulb? But nobody said that about Reagan. They always said he was pretty smart. Now, at the end of his career, I think Reagan was thought to be kind of, you know, losing it a bit. He was getting pretty old. Maybe he was getting a little off. He wasn't as sharp. I don't know. I mean, look at, I mean, even Mr. Trump, right? I mean, we already know Biden got out because he had finally admitted that he was losing it, but probably with a lot of pressure from his people. But I think Mr. Trump is losing it too. Maybe not as much. I mean, I feel like he's kind of slipping away, slipping away. And who do I follow? Well, I don't know. It's so hard to elect people these days because they're all terrible. I feel like there's good people out there. They're just terrified to run because the press and all of the just everybody out there just wants to hang people. They just want people to go down, and they just want to find every flaw because there's always going to be detractors, right? I mean, you cannot. There's nobody ever going to be elected that's loved by everybody. And as such, that means those same people are going to have those others that don't love them trying to find ways to make their life miserable. They're going to make stuff up. They're going to... Just the way our world works. We can't help, but, I mean, people are just mean. They can't have their way. They're going to try to destroy those that are blocking them from doing so. And even if it's dishonest, it's just sad, really. Gotta say it's sad. We are not nice. There's nice people, don't get me wrong, but they're the ones that are quiet. They're not like trying to destroy people, so they're just staying out of it, and they're just watching as the world melts down around them because they don't want to be that person, but they're just watching everybody who is wreck everything because those people don't care. I don't know. I don't like Trump, but not because of his politics. I don't like him because he's just a jerk. You know, some people go, "Well, don't worry about that, man. What's important is that his politics are good." It's like I don't know. I think being a jerk is a negative political problem. I think that's gonna work against him. I mean, look, that's the reason why he got booted out. I mean, the reason he lost to Biden. I mean, come on, Biden was no gem, but people just don't like Trump, and it's not. And I don't even think they care that he may have been a decent president as far as politics go. It's they just he's a not nice guy. I mean, he's full of himself. He thinks he's all that, you know, and he is not. But he's the guy running. Unfortunately, he's our option right now. And then of course you've got Kamala, which I just don't know anything about her, so I can't make any judgments on her. So that's why I don't like the voting. 'Cause I don't like any of them. I don't know if it's. I mean, I don't like to vote with any party. I admit that I tend to align more with the general precepts of a republicanism, but the people that doesn't necessarily mean I vote Republican all the time. It's just because that's just where I line in my beliefs in general. Don't get me wrong. I don't let that be my driving force either, because I believe that there's bad choices on both sides or good choices, you know. But you kind of watch how these guys, you know, carry themselves. Are they going to help this? Are they going to do more harm than good? Are they going to break all your beliefs? Are they going to destroy our, you know, I don't know. There's been good Democrat presidents, historically speaking. I'm not too, so I don't judge them for that simply being Democrat. I guess it just depends on what they're doing and what their agendas are. Mm. Don't ask me my agenda, what I feel like is important, because I don't want to get into that. that's that's not that's not a thing I do on my streams. I don't mind talking about politicians. I just don't want to talk politics. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you get? What is it? Do you see where I'm coming from? I mean, it's not that. You know, it's about the person, right? I mean, I just think sometimes a good person with a good, smart person can be a good president, even if they don't necessarily align with everybody's beliefs. And that was Reagan. He was the kind of guy that he got things done, and he did it kind of with intent to succeed for both sides. He wanted America to win, not just his party. You know? Now, granted, you know, he still had people who hated him because, That's life. That's the world of being a president. That's the world of being any politician. Anybody who's in the limelight's gonna have people. No matter how much people like you in general, there's always somebody who hates you. that's that's just the way it goes. I don't know if there's anybody who's ever been universally loved. It's just not a thing, man. Hey, Pack Jack, how you doing? You like that? This is my yeah, he's coming out. I think he's working out pretty well, my golden eagle. Putting the orange on the brown, I think, has really been helping. What have you been up to, man? See, here's his base. I got his base right there. I've been working on his base too. His base isn't 100%, but it's getting close. There's his. He's not coming out bad. I mean, I like the way he's starting to pop a little bit. I'm getting his wings going. Oops, my chat is off screen there. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment, man. Glad you like it. Every now and then I do one that comes out pretty good. And so far, I think really what it comes down to in a lot of cases for me is putting the time in. Because sometimes I paint guys kind of fast and they come out eh. But this one, I've put a lot of time into him. Hey, Dark Prince, Gandalf. Hey, man, Gandalf is looking like he's going to get a job again. Gandalf, I just saw an article. It says Ian McKellen is going to be potentially reprising his role in the new Gollum, Finding Gollum, or In Search of Gollum movie they're working on. But he said they got to do it quickly because, you know, he's 85 years old. Yeah, quality takes time, that's for sure. That is definitely for sure. So I got to figure out. I've noticed that almost every image I found of a golden eagle has white in the brown feathers, in the dark feathers, and yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Yeah, well, he doesn't do much, I don't think. I think he's done some plays, I guess, you know, on his side of the world. But yeah, he doesn't act a lot. But they asked him to return as Gandalf, and he said he would, as long as they do it before as long as they do it before age catches up to him. And this was like in the last few months, you know. So it's recent, but still, you know, the movie's not out. They haven't quite got us there yet. So we'll see. But yeah, I gotta figure out how to get some white or some light colors into his feathers. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to gradually add light colors because I can't just go white. Yeah, well, well, you know, he's 85. If he was in his 90s, I'd say, yeah, it's gonna be a close call. 85, depending on how fit he is, healthy he is, and if he's willing to right now, that tells me he's healthy enough right now, right? So that means he's probably got minimum. I mean, I'm not saying his time frame is he might live to be 100, who knows? But I'm just saying minimum. He's got at least a year. So if they can get their act on the ball, they could get this movie made, you know. But they said that the movie doesn't even have a script yet, so we'll see. That could be 6 months just to get a script. It could be a year. Who knows? They can't do what they're doing, like Blade, the movie Blade that's supposed to be coming out. They can't do that where it's taking them 6 years just to get anywhere. If that movie's ever going to get made. So we'll see. We will see. I'm gonna go with a light color first. Start trimming the inside of some of these feathers, and then I'll go on it slightly, get whiter and whiter. I mean, he did do what? When was the last movie he did? That was it was the third episode of the Lord of the Rings prequel, right? In Search of Smog or Smog or oh no, that was the Battle of the Five Armies. Um, he was in that one, and I don't know how. When did that come out? Alexa, when did Battle of the Five Armies come out?
The film The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies was released on December 17th, 2014.
Ooh, yeah, that was 10 years ago.
I tell you interesting history facts every morning. Would you like to enable this routine?
No, thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, well, it was 10 years ago that he did that one. And so he was, what, 75 then? 85 now. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I don't know his physical condition, but like I'm saying, I don't think he'd say yes if he felt he was already, getting pretty old. He felt, or, if he felt old. And the fact that he said yes, it means he's thinking he's still got juice in the tank, so. It'd be cool. I would love to see him make it. But if it's another one of the 3-movie trilogy things, yeah, they might be pushing it there. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to have a 3-movie trilogy in him. Because that doesn't, that's not, unless they do all the movies at once and then, break them up and distribute them over the years. But you can't, like, do 5 years in between each movie and then expect, that's not going to work. He'll be 100 years old if they do that. And that would be tough to make. All right, so I'm going to try and see if I can. Now, I don't have much time left. I've only got like maybe 20 minutes. Oh yeah, has he? Oh well, that's cool. What does he do? What does he voice act for? Like just variety of. I'm guessing he plays some villains, huh? I feel like he'd be a voice for a villain. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Oh, narrator. Oh, okay. Okay, so this is going to be really tough because I really don't know what I'm doing here. Because even though I want to put white on these feathers, I have no idea how. It's like I need to make a path for white. And so everywhere I put this color, I need to put a lighter color on top of it and just slowly brighten it up. But I do note that, plus I note that these feathers, there's like 3 layers of his outer feathers, and I've only got 1 layer. Like this on the bird picture I have, these feathers, which are like really long, are actually 3 sets of feathers on his. So that's gonna make it all the harder to do this. Yeah, it's got to be pretty precise. That's why I use these magnifying glasses, because it's like I used to do it without them, and then it's like I just not precise enough with the brush. And you notice that I support my hand a lot. Like my fingers are like leaning on each other to balance, so I'm not shaking. Because that is it's a common attribute if you're, most people. Some people, they can go like this and just be perfect, but that's not me. I see people do freehand stuff, and I'm just like, they're drawing pictures on the edge of a pin. I'm like, what the heck? How are you doing that, man? That's like not natural. It's not something normal humans can do. Just making all of us normal humans look bad. It looks like this whiteness that is these feathers is not like consistent. It's like there's places where it's there and places where it's not. So I'm going to be like guessing where I'm putting white at. And it's really just trying to find not a really a pattern because, you know, nature doesn't do patterns exactly, but like even a zebra's stripes aren't perfect, right? But it's not still really hard to get a good feel for. Trying to make these little spots that are eventually going to be mostly white. And this light color is kind of a base so that my white can have an easier time applying is really what it is. Because if I put white right on these dark brown feathers, it won't show up right. Ha! No, I do not. I appreciate the compliments, man, but my painting is pretty basic. Nobody who knows painting has ever asked me to paint something for them. Um, like you want to see there's some really good painters out there, man. I mean, it's like the guy I like to watch a lot is Ninjon. Now he doesn't stream. A lot of these guys don't stream. Miniac streams occasionally. Miniac's really good. Miniac does awesome work. I mean, he is phenomenal. But Ninjon, I really like him. He's good. He gives lessons. He tries to show you how to make things. What do you call it? Easier. He tells you easier way to get things done, which is always nice. You know, finding ways to do things faster. And he's always impressed me with how good he is at NMM. He makes it look so easy. NMM being non-metallic metal, which basically means he can paint things to look like metal without using a metallic paint. He just makes that shininess just out of precise placement of paint, which is just amazing. And NMM looks so much better. Good NMM looks so much better than metallic paints in a lot of cases. It's always just to me so impressive. And I would love to be better at it than I am. Yeah. No, these guys are good. Another cool guy to watch though, between Miniac and Ninjon, like I said, Miniac streams. I don't know if Ninjon streams. I know he does a lot of YouTube videos. But another guy I watch who doesn't stream, I don't know if he streams or not, but he does a lot of YouTube videos, and that's Squidmar. Squidmar does some really cool stuff. His isn't really about the painting. I mean, he paints pretty good. His buddy paints really good. The guy he does all his stuff with is like an awesome painter. He's good too, but I'm just saying his buddy's like on another tier. Um, but that said, they do a lot of like dioramas and really cool projects with their paints. I mean, they paint minis, but they do like a lot of Warhammer, really just cool scenery stuff, amazing things that take them weeks, if not months, to actually finish. But it is some seriously impressive stuff. So if you want to see some cool projects, check out Squidmar and his buddy doing their thing. They do some cool stuff too. I just it's very recent for me to start doing bases at all. I used to just paint them black, or do no real thing, but doing bases like this. I'm starting to do stuff like that more often, simply because it does look so much better to have your have them on a nice base. It just like it's a big difference in quality of end result. So, yeah, that's pretty good for that wing. Let's go start the other wing. What time is I got? Oh, it's 3:16. Got a little time. Yeah, it's coming out pretty good. I've been trying to put down like this, what do you call it, this fake water stuff down here to try to make it look like it's a beach. And it's coming out, but the last time I put it on, I kind of got bubbles. So I gotta be a little better with my placement. I'll have to like cover those up. Bubbles aren't so bad because sometimes it looks like shore, like water hitting the shore, but there's a limit. You don't want too much of that. And I think I may have gotten myself a little bit more of that than I wanted, but I'll figure it out. I mean, really, I'm trying to come up with like some basic patterns here. So that when my white goes down, it's probably good I'm using this really light color too, because it allows me to place it and go, yeah, I don't want to put too much white there. It's kind of giving me that outline that I want that says, all right, that's not so bad. It's like I have like his tail here. I kind of did a little bit of a design on the back, but yeah, I think once it's done and ready to sit on a table or on a shelf, it'll look pretty good. I hope. And I'm trying to move the white where I'm putting it to the high and low spot, so sometimes it's kind of like up here. And then other times it's kind of towards the bottom. This helps me to kind of get that a fake effect of having feathers in top and bottom. Kind of trying to lie to myself that I have two layers of feathers rather than just one. And it is such a, like you say, a very. This is probably why I don't do too many things like this. Even though I love to paint. I mean, this is fun. It takes your mind off of other crap. But it's also it's hard for me to make time for it because I know it takes a while. I'm trying to start scheduling regular sessions where I paint. They they say even if you only do 30 minutes a day, you're something. It's some progress, and that's what I'm trying to get to. But it's like, when do I put it in? Because like during the week, a lot of times I'll be programming or playing video games, which I don't mind video games, but I do find that they suck my time sometimes. They can kind of keep me from doing things like this that I like, and I gotta learn to be able to break. Say, okay, this game's fun, but come on, Ken, you gotta go do something else. Get off the game. Go do your painting. You have like a bajillion miniatures that are just crying out for some love. All right, I think I have I think I have some decent amount of spots where I want to put some white. I don't know. We'll see. Probably have a couple spots I need to patternize a little bit here too. Make them look a little bit more. Well, lately I've been playing, well, I've been playing some phone games lately. Marvel Snap I've been playing for the last almost 2 years. And then Watcher of Realms, which I've been playing for like the last 4 months. Although I gotta say, I think I'm starting to lose my interest. I want on both. I mean, really on both. I don't. I'm not as. I mean, I play. I still play almost daily with Marvel Snap and Watcher of Realms. But I missed my first day of Watcher of Realms yesterday. The first time I didn't even turn it on because I just had other stuff and I never got around to it. I am starting to find that I'm losing it a little bit with Watcher of Realms simply because I'm at that point where you don't get to actually play the game part, which is actually fighting and doing the little tower defense things as much because I've kind of hit that cap of free play where you don't get a, you don't pay, you don't play kind of thing. You're getting stuff, yes, but it's like my guys need a lot of progression, or I need to get more legendaries, which is where you get your power. And I don't have any. I've been like for the last 200 summons, I've got nothing, and so I'm just not strong enough. I can't progress. So it's like, well, all right. Well, I do the stuff to get the resources to go ahead and do the draws that let me get the resource to do some more summons, and hopefully I'll get some better guys. But if I have to keep going 170, 180, 190 draws, that's like 3 weeks of playing. And I'm like, I don't want to play for 3 weeks and not do anything for 3 weeks, just trying to summon these guys up. And so I'm starting to lose it. Marvel Snap, I still like the strategy of Marvel Snap. I mean, basically, Marvel Snap's all about playing, but in that one, so many people just keep playing the same decks, and I'm like, come on, get some creativity. I'm tired of playing against the same decks all the time, people. So I don't like to play the metas. I won't like the most common decks people are playing. I play other stuff because I like to be one of the minority. So when people meet me, they're going to be seeing a deck that's not as common. Don't get me wrong, my deck is, there's plenty of people playing variations of what I'm doing, but it's not as common. Okay, well, I'm not done. I've got to do the underside of these wings. You can see they're still pretty plain, but I'm slowly getting there, so I'll probably have another session or two to kind of really wrap him up, but he's making some good progress. I think other games I like, the full-fledged games that I really want to play more of, which I haven't found time of, is Baldur's Gate 3. I haven't even made it to Baldur's Gate. I'm like Act 2, Act 3, I don't know what it is. I mean, I think I just got out of the Underdark and I'm traveling, or am I still in the Underdark? I don't know. It's been a few weeks. And then Marvel Midnight Suns, which is another card game, but it's a full-fledged video game. So you got graphical interactions. You play the card and your guys go do what they do, and it's really cool. Special effects on it are really good. I really like the strategy of the cards and the way the decks build, and each guy has his own deck rather than playing a deck made up of guys. You have each guy having, well, each guy doesn't have his own deck. Each guy has his own set of cards, which when you go out to battle, you usually go battle with 3 guys. 3 guys? Yeah, I guess it's 3 guys. You go out to battle with 3 guys, and all the cards that each one of them has get shuffled together, and then they're used when you fight. It's a really fun game. I really like it a lot. I feel like it's definitely one that hasn't gotten its due. I just think somewhere along the lines, maybe other games came out at the same time, and people it kind of got washed under the rug or whatever you call it. But I think ultimately people need to give it a chance. I think it's a really good game. The only thing I'm not real big on is there's this little side piece where you're searching the Abbey a lot, where you're trying to find stuff to do other side stuff, and that piece is kind of slow and kind of a pain in the rear. But all of the other stuff, all the fighting and building your characters up and going out and doing, just kind of meeting the different Marvel bad guys that you're going to be fighting. Like you fight up against Venom, and you fight some other guys too. I think, did I fight Juggernaut? I don't know, but Hulk's in there. He's a bad guy. I don't think I've had to fight him yet, but I think he's coming because he's like a top tier bad guy. He's because they've been taken over by this bad character. It's not because he's a bad guy normally. It's because his Bruce Banner self has been taken over. Anyway, it's a really fun game. So those are the kind of the games I want to finish before I start new ones. And I still see other games come out, and I'm like, ooh, nope, shiny object. No, stop. You got games to finish already. So yeah, it's a matter of just trying to get on there, finding time for all these things. My days are pretty busy, and then of course, I got to spend serious time each day. At this point, I do a lot. Since I'm not working full time, I need to be looking for work. So I'm doing a lot of job hunting and resumes, all that kind of crap. And then of course I program all day long. I try. If I'm not doing other yard work and doing stuff around the house, because it's when being unemployed is a good time to get stuff done around the house, right? So hopefully, something will come up there. Anyway, Deepa Jack, and where'd he go? I gotta see where my mouse went. My mouse is gone. Oh, Dark Prince Gandalf, man. Hey, both of you, I appreciate it coming by and saying hi. Thanks for the follows. That's always cool. Hey, if you like miniatures like I'm doing here, painting them, and you like to collect them, store them, paint them yourself, or you play games that just have miniatures and you're like, ooh, I wish I could paint them or want to paint them. If you want somewhere to store them, you see that little image on my screen right underneath my company logo? That's my personal hobby company. That little image is of the Mage Cage in the X case. And it's a transportable, expandable storage case that you can store all your minis in, or your paints, because I got a lot of paints in my X cases here. You can't see them because I don't have the camera facing that way, but you can see this is my painting setup. And then I have here some cases with minis in them, and then you go look over there, I got some more cases with minis in them. So anyway, that's my those are the X case and Mage Cage. I sell them on my website, amgamesdirect.com. But we're all out of clear ones. So if you're looking at the clear ones going, ooh, yeah, that's our Kickstarter that we want to do. We're asking people to go, if you're interested in them. If you're not, don't worry about it. No pressure. But go check out YouTube and Instagram. You can see how they work, how they expand. They have mounting holes on the back. You can put them on the wall, create cool wall displays out of them. And then if you want to be part of our Kickstarter, whenever that happens, because right now we're waiting for a certain number of followers before we announce the date. Right now we got 400 and some. We're shooting for 800. So go to Facebook under Active Minds Games. That's Minds with an S. Like I am Active Mind Gamer, but that's one person. So Active Minds Games is all the active minds out there. So it's plural S, the minds. So go check that out. And hey, if nothing else, let me know what you think, man. These are, I think most people seem to like them. Like I said, we've sold about, I want to say historically, since I started making them, close to 20,000 units, something like that. But I made the clear cases for a Kickstarter, and I didn't make enough. They sold out like right away, and I'm like, oh, well, those were popular. And I since then have been, I made enough to pay off the production, but not enough to make more. So I'm going to do that differently this time. I've plotted out how much I actually need to pay off production and make a bigger case, make some cool inserts for it, like some shelving and even our paint rack that you can pull out and put on the table if you'd rather not have them up on the shelf. Anyway, that's my thing, man. That's my thing. And I appreciate you guys coming by, saying hi, and that you're willing to to take a look. Until next time, take it easy, guys.